so we came up with the name Immersion. And so now when we engage with a client, the first thing that we do is we get a group of 8 to 10, ideally, in the organization. And it's not just product team, it's product owner, it's operations, if we can get the C, that's great. Finance, sales, support. It's got to be in marketing. It's got to be an interdisciplinary group.
And the leaders who make decisions.
That's right. These are the people that can actually affect the change that we design when we come up with a product roadmap. So we call it immersion. We insist now that this is the way to kick off a project with impact. And clients, when they call us up and want to work with us, they often will say, let's get to work. But we always say, whoa, engage with us for a few days with your team, because the time you're going to spend in this workshop with us is going to pay dividends down the road.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but this is actually done within less than a week.
Yeah, well, then that's the thing, right? So the pushback that you might get was, well, I don't have 3 solid, if it takes 3 solid days to do this. But the pushback from us is, otherwise we're going around doing discovery, trying to get requirements, talking to individuals. One person's views may be different from another, which is always the case. And so we think, let's get us all together in a room. It's almost like design therapy, because you'll find out that leaders of the organization aren't always on the same page, even though they tell you that they are.
It's ego-busting design therapy.
Well, that's it, right? Like, I'm glad you brought up the word ego, because it's like running a company, there has to be some ego. You're entrusted to do some stuff, and you've come up through the world, and you've got, as you mature through your career, you develop an ego. It's human nature. Our job is to go in there and say, we're in this together, which is often a cliche, but the reality is we have each other's back. If you think about servant leadership, a lot of people that I run into that I think are effective leaders in the organization, they take on a leadership style that's about, I can't do this without my team. This is about we, it's not about me. And I actually find that if you can embody that style of leadership, you actually become a stronger leader, rather than somebody who says, this is all because of me, it's my ego, it's top down.
You're leading from the back versus the front.
Yeah, if you lead from the back, I stand behind my team. We're going to win because I enable a process by which you, as people who work for me, shared ownership and success. I'm going to share my power, and I'm going to share my success with my team. And as a result, we're going to move forward together. We've got each other's back. That's the way to go. You have better outcomes. You have loyalty like there's no tomorrow. You have a shared purpose. You have a community. You have positive morale. I mean, these are all things that come out of servant leadership. And to your credit, Makoto, but you foster that kind of culture at Impact. You stand behind your team, and you're insanely loyal to the people who do the work. You recognize that we're experts at what we do. You let success happen. And so I think that's the kind of maturity that we want to impart in organizations that we work with, is take a step back, let your team shine. Nobody knows everything, but together we're going to figure this out. It hasn't been successful every time, but it's been successful enough where we know we're on the right path. And people say that once we've kicked off an engagement in this way, in the right way with immersion, that they're insanely loyal to us as an agency. And so they're, working with Impact has been a game changer for us.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a few points there, from working with, especially, I'm not going to name which client, but we have a one wonderful client that we work with, and an individual that we work with a couple of times. And he's even said, I get it now. It's something that, it depends on your maturity of your organization, depends on the egos of people in the room. This is something that is hard to do. It's hard to infect change. And there's going to be resistance towards any type of strategic and process change within their organization. And we've seen this until what the one client who has said, you don't know what good is until you've gone through it. And so your perception of what you think you need to be done to succeed is different than after you've gone through what good UX, what good project strategy is. And this is something that if we can impart this process to people who aren't sure, who've never gone through with it, but then see the value, because you're not investing that much time as compared to the alternative. And if you invest just in this amount of time to bring people together, to really leave the egos at the room, forget the we know what we know mantra, and really try to go through a good process that we've really helped a lot of clients help launch their products. I think they see the value